Welcome to the Shoutfyre podcast at shoutfyre.com.
Welcome, everybody. If you're listening to this, you are curious of what Shoutfyre is and what it's all about. And the best way to find out about that is go to the source, which is Bob Hickey. Hi, Bob. How you doing?
Hey, Bill. Good. How you doing?
Doing wonderful. So you've been working in the industry for a long time. Shoutfyre is a new venture. What is Shoutfyre? What is it different from what you've done before, and how has what you've done before influenced it?
Shoutfyre is a combination of just about everything we've done in the past, from Blue Line, which is the art paper and art products, and which moved us into the how-to business, and that's when we published Sketch Magazine. And in the process of both of those, we've created comics throughout different studios. So I sort of took a break from it all, created another business outside of this, which was a lot of fun, a retro video game store. And there's still a lot of people interested in this, a lot of people wanting to create comics. I want to get back into creating comics. We still produce a Blue Line paper for art stores and sell it online. So I'm like, we need to create something that can communicate just everything that we've got. So instead of pigeonhole into one how-to or a comic studio, we're going to create an entertainment site that's really focused around the how-to of creating comics. We've incorporated Sketch Magazine and all the issues of it, and I've got so much bonus material. That's what I'm sort of excited about. That is because we have so much bonus materials. It's like we would talk to an artist, and they would send us artwork, and we'd get to use, maybe 12 pieces in the article if we were lucky. We could have 50. Mike Oming's one of them that I've got a whole portfolio of black and white illustrations he sent me, and we didn't use a fifth of it. Didn't hardly use any of it. So we're going to start releasing bonus materials to each issue on a weekly basis. It probably like portfolios would be the biggest thing to a certain issue. Sometimes we have the actual recordings. I actually have the Todd McFarlane recordings, and I think you or I have the Alex Ross recordings.
Yes, it's quite a long one.
Yes, and I think it would be fun to create a show called the Alex Ross tapes or something like that, and discuss his opinions and views. And even though it was like, golly, almost 10 years ago, I guess, some of them hold up. And we could actually talk about what happened since then. So it would be fun. So there's some cool things we can do with Sketch. We're going to create new content here on a weekly basis. It's going to be all over the place, from illustration to publishing to the business end of things to Kickstarters to online comics. It's going to be pretty cool. Cover a large variety. Another aspect of Shoutfyre is, of course, we have our own studio books. So whoever is a part of Shoutfyre will have access to those books, and we're going to reach out and try to get our hands on sketchbooks and other books also to include.
So if you want to create comics, it used to be an incredible number of barriers in the business. Has that lessened in the recent years?
Yes, but I would say yes, because you can take your comics so many other places, and me being the publisher and in the business and things, you should take it other places. It's so hard to get into a store, and Bill, you and I are going to do many podcasts about that.
Oh yes, there's the complicated. You do all of the incredibly hard work of making your own comic and finally getting it done, and don't understand how difficult it is to actually get it out in front of people. But that is a topic we will return to many times.
Oh yeah, and we will, discuss the other options, such as Kickstarters, Webtoons. There's so many places, self-publishing. There's so many other places you can take it. Amazon, Comixology, all those places are available, and we'll discuss them. And if you're part of our group, then we will help you the best we can with all of those. We've experimented with many of those, and we're going to experiment again with many of those.
Conventions used to be about the only way to get out and reach the public, but there's still a viable way for fans to make that transition all the way to pro if they want to, or to just be, kind of a hobby where you share your work and still make some money out of it. So we have a lot of information that we can share about how to do conventions and how to make the best out of them.
Yes. Um, I don't want to say I'm anti-convention because I did conventions for a long, long time. But I don't know if it's the best place for you to try to start something at a con because, again, we're going to be covering this a lot on the website, either in podcast or blogs. But there's just so much that can be done at home, online, and building groups and building so many different things. And those are things that we'll talk about with Shoutfyre, is how to build your audiences and your fan bases and how to key those around the subject of your book.
And
So
how to build a network of friends and fellow people who want to be artists, who want to share their work and share how they're learning the whole process. It's a very lonely job to be sitting there and creating art all by yourself. But when you realize what other people are doing and how they're doing it, it becomes quite a community.
yeah, and that's what we've sort of found out with Sketch Magazine. There is a great community out there, and one that we want to expand on and bring in more artists and find out, as we spoke earlier, what they want, what are they needs, what are the information they want to succeed in whatever they want to do. If it's just creating an ash can, a small little book for themselves, cool. We'll help you get there. If you want to create a whole company or studio, we've done it. We can help you get there too.
So is this only for people who want to write, draw, or is it also for people who just want to kind of take a peek behind the curtain and see how things are made?
I think one part of this will be those who want to take a peek behind the curtain and go, wow, maybe I want to do this, or maybe I don't. I hope you do. If you have even a feeling that you want to do it, then you should do it. But it's going to be overall a entertainment site. It's going to have heavily at the beginning how-tos, because that's what we've done for the past many years. But there's also going to be comics there to read. There's going to be fun, I want to say videos. We're still working on a lot of the content, so we don't have everything nailed down. But we're looking at shows, we're looking at blogs, we're looking at podcasts. There's going to be a variety of items that you'll be able to enjoy when you come and visit the site.
So Shoutfyre is kind of an umbrella for all these different things.
Yes, that was the idea of Shoutfyre, and it's Shoutfyre, Fyre. I know it's a little different, but it's sort of cool too. Is to put everything in one place instead of having 4 or 5 different places where everything sits, whether it's in our studio or over at Sketch Magazine or over here at Blue Line. It's like, let's put it all in one. There's still a BlueLinePro.com site to buy your art supplies. Sketch Magazine will totally move over to Shoutfyre.com once we're done by the end of the year. And the comic books and stuff that we produce will be available on there too. And then whatever other shows and books and sketchbooks that we can line up.
Will it be an opportunity for people involved in Shoutfyre to give you their own ideas of how best to build this, of what they're looking for?
Sure. The best way is drop me an email at Shoutfyre, like I said, Fyre, shoutfyre@gmail.com. And that's an email that comes directly to me right now. And I think we're on Facebook right now at Shoutfyre. Those are probably the best 2 places to jump on Shoutfyre at Facebook, and then or drop me an email.
So it sounds like an exciting opportunity to get in on the ground floor of something and really help to make it something special.
Yeah, it is. There's some structuring that we haven't discussed that I wanted to about the site, is that this will be a membership site, which is very unusual for the comic industry, in a way that it will help privatize the site. Only the fans who want to use this. We've ran boards. If some of you might remember the Unleashed boards that we ran years ago, we actually ended up doing a Hell Girl sketchbook with them. And that was fun, but boy, it was a nightmare running those boards. A lot of people jump in there and they just want to tear things apart, sort of like I think what's going on over Twitter right now, from what I keep hearing. So this is a private membership site. There'll be a monthly fee or a yearly fee, however you want to carry it. But all that money goes towards creating new content, and that's what we wanted. We're not just wanting to grab a bunch of here's everything that's been done. Enjoy. We want to create weekly new content, and do that. It costs money. If I want to go to a professional and say, hey, you want to do a weekly article about this, they're going to need to get paid for them to give a really good job to us. So the membership fee, it'll be small, but it will help us really grow this site.
Yeah, a lot of people, might shy away from the membership fee, but it's something, because they've been burned before on something that's not really going to give them the content, but you already have a massive amount of content to start with. And yes. It's something that's, if you're interested in what's behind the scenes, how to write, draw, how to make this work, it's kind of an instant community to help you to build what you're trying to build, to learn what you're trying to learn. There's so many different avenues.
Well, what the membership site gives us, one is capital to bring in all new content, of course, but it also allows us to personally work with more people on the site. And then we'll be setting up like a private group on Facebook that will be members only. So we know only people in this group are those who's part of our site. And then that'll give us another working area to help members to achieve their goals. And then we'll just see what grows from there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to get back in Sketch. We actually have an issue here. It's in the can. It's about ready to go out. Not too sure in what format. That's something we're discussing. So it's going to be fun to get back into this arena.
We have quite a few interviews already in the can and more on the way. Mm-hmm. And the interesting thing is these are not just interviews about saying, well, what's your latest project? It's talking to writers and artists about how they were formed, okay, what their influences are, their techniques, their goals, in improving their art, and it's fun to see that little peek behind the curtain. Even if you're just a fan of comics and never draw yourself, it's interesting to see how they think about their work and how their work progresses. And if it's something you want to do yourself, it's incredibly inspirational.
It is. And it's we got some cool stuff planned, and it's probably going to grow out of just comics, but because that's our base right now, this is what we've played in for so long. This is where we're going to start, but it's going to be fun where it heads. I mean, I like to move into animations. I like to move into more digital work. I have access into people in those areas, so I would definitely hit them up and see what we can do about creating the content. But the interviews alone, I mean, we got so many aging artists out there we should be talking to and getting how they got into it. And, if we could interview like a Jack Kirby, wouldn't that be wonderful? Because that information that you could draw out of would be available to all the fans forever. And it's some of the information is ageless.
Yeah.
And that's what new creators need to realize is that, I don't want to listen to this old artist who came around 40 years ago. There's stuff in there that you can still use, whether it's techniques, if it's how they got into the biz. Yeah, it's differently, but how can you take what they did and convert it over into what's going on now? This stuff is ageless.
Otherwise, you're stuck reinventing the wheel over and over and over again.
Exactly. And how much time do you waste reinventing that wheel? You need to move on and build a car and head on down the road,
Well, I think that about wraps it up for today, but you give us a lot to think about and a lot to look forward to.
Cool. Okay. Remember shoutfyre.com? You'll hear more. Just drop me an email and join us on Facebook, and we'll keep the updates coming.
Thanks so much, Bob. Talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Bill.